Zaza.
Oh, yeah.
Fitzy and
Sweet as.
Whipper.
Hey, what's going on, Funky Sisters? It's the podcast. I've been asked not to say that, to be honest. That's okay. We'll move on again. Maybe I'll start again. Leno, I'll start another intro for the podcast.
I'm not going to edit this, so just...
Okay, no, we'll go with another one.
Okay.
All right, something cooler. What's up?
Going to have to start again, but I'm going to also not edit this
Edit
bit.
this bit out.
No, not going to. So start again, but
Okay. Lemonade, my man, what it is.
that is even worse.
Which is another cool way of saying hello. It's a podcast, hanging with the cool kids. Yeah. So how's your day going?
Very well.
I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to the podcast.
Oh, okay.
Hey, great feedback on the podcast. Got an email here from Darren, who lives in Canberra. Hey, Whip Doggy Dog, love the podcast. I've also heard the show when I've happened to be in town, and can't get enough of your witty quips and jovial laughter.
You're looking at a blank sheet of paper.
Let's move on. I'll start again, Leno.
No, we're not editing this.
Well, then why don't you tell everybody what's on the show, for crying out loud?
It's the moment that changed your life.
Oh, yeah. A guy
One-
met Jennifer. I'll do the rest.
Okay, yeah.
A guy met Jennifer Aniston. What happened in that moment changed his life forever. I haven't met her, so I'm still stuffed. But this guy went on to make some major life changes, and it's a good story. It's a really good story. I'll go from the top, Leno. I've run out of
No,
words.
that's it. That's fun. Enjoy the podcast.
What's up?
Fitzy and Whipper.
Guys, let's talk about this one. I've just picked up the wrong page of what I was planning on talking about.
Let's
Here we
have a look
go.
at it.
No, this is good. I want to show you a photo of a guy. His name is James Swanwick. Now, Jimmy, he is a huge Jennifer Aniston fan. Massive Jennifer Aniston fan. Loves all her work, huge Friends fan. Finally, was in the States, was invited to a party, got to meet Jennifer Aniston. It was his dream.
See, do you want to meet them though? This is the thing, like
She doesn't look so thrilled in that photo, does she?
Oh, look, that's the photo of them there. There was his dream moment. He couldn't believe it. He says, I still remember how beautiful she smelt.
it's a bit of a fake smile by her, isn't it?
Well, I mean, she's obviously just posed for 600 photos. He's the next guy in line, and she's just done the same face over and over again. He got the photo, and he looked at it, and he went, that's not the best me.
Oh no.
That is not the best me.
So he went and got a Jennifer Aniston haircut, or
No, so from that moment on, when he saw that photo for the first time, he quit alcohol for good.
wow.
He's now 18 kilos
now
lighter.
18.
He's now 18. He went back 10 years. He's now 18 kgs lighter. He runs a multi-million-dollar business, and he sleeps better than ever.
What did he start the business as a consequence of meeting her, or it's just that he turned his life?
That he turned his life around.
Right.
He was
Or can I say, did he do this looking at the photo thinking I'm still a chance? If I
He
lose,
may have.
If I lose a bit of weight,
No.
if I make myself look a little bit better, the next time I meet her, you never know.
Would it be you'd look at it and go, "This was my biggest moment,
Yeah,
and I don't
and
want
look
to
at
show
me."
anyone that picture because I look like crap."
Because I think people have a moment in their life where they go, oh, God, snap. In that split second, you go, I don't like what I see, and I need to change that right now. Looking at the photo of him and Jennifer Aniston was that moment. I mean, he may have gone in to kiss her fits, and she said, no, I'm not going to kiss you unless you're 18 kilos lighter.
It's a great effort. It's a turning point in his life.
Massive
isn't it?
turning point. He saw the photo. The next thing you know, he's a host on a TV show in the US, Sports Central.
What?
On ESPN. And then he has now started a business generating over $1 million in revenue.
Wow.
Just
Called
because
Facebook.
he had this photo with Jennifer Aniston and said, I don't like what I see. Do you remember Eddie Maguire? Ages ago, he was walking along, and in the reflection of the glass in a shop front, he looked and saw this guy and went, who's that fat guy looking back at me?
I know
That
it's
was the
him.
moment. It was him. That's when he went and sought that herbal treatment, or the Chinese doctor, I
I
think.
think he's lost too much weight though, has he?
Yeah, he was massive. Eddie was heavy. I think he looks good from where he came from. 13, 24, 10, if there was a split moment in your life where you went, enough is enough.
What was the turning point?
I don't want to be that person anymore. And what did you do, and how did you change?
Tommy,
was
was
it giving
yours-
up grog? Tommy made a drastic change in his life.
Well, fashion
You're
was
getting smashed
fashion was a
today.
big one as well, because Tommy, you used to. I mean, the cowboy shirts with the Screaming Eagles embroidery all over them. You used to wear them everywhere.
Yeah, I did. And there was one moment you guys did a stitch up on me in the office.
Yeah.
And you filmed it. And the particular stitch up wasn't very good for me.
That was the moisturiser on the
yeah,
phone.
you put moisturiser
That
on.
was crap, that one.
on the
On the
hand
ear
side.
And you
Yeah.
used
Yeah,
my
it
really
was really
expensive
funny.
hand cream.
Sorry,
It's funny.
Sarah.
It was
Yeah, I
really
was
funny.
not happy.
All
And
through
says,
my ear.
Tommy, why did that change?
Well, I watched the video back and it was a side profile. One of you were filming from the side, and you could just see, I had the Screaming Eagle shirt on, but you
Huge.
could see my gut hanging out from the side.
That
of
was the moment.
That was it, was it?
And that was it. That was I was 103, and I
That
thought
was the
it's time.
moment where
Yeah.
Tommy said, I can't do this anymore. And he
Our
changed
pleasure.
phones. He got a new phone.
What a change. He went to a Samsung. Tommy, what a change.
Yeah.
But isn't it interesting if we hadn't have done that prank on you?
Yeah, I mean, I've still got the video, and it still torments me a little bit.
But
because
Tommy,
all of
that
the
is a
moisturiser.
significant change.
Yes.
I mean, from what your size was to now, over 30 kilos, yeah?
No, 23.
Same
You
thing.
bought yourself 10 extra
Yes, you
years of
did.
life. It's amazing.
It's amazing.
When are you going to do it, Whip?
Yeah, how many moments of those do you get a week where
Was
you
it
look
the
in the...
photos in the leopard print boat shorts? Were they not enough for you?
Probably. No, I didn't mind those. I mean, when you look at the photo of me in the leather Lederhausen
Oh, yeah. You do not like that photo.
out at West
at all.
Ryde, I think, Tommy.
Yeah.
Your junk is really getting smashed.
No, I don't
up
care
on
about the
tight
junk.
leather.
I care about the handles. What's
I
interesting
think it's at
too.
the Art Gallery in New South Wales.
I don't
at
think
the
it
moment.
is. I don't think they're celebrating it at all. But you superimposed a piece of pizza into my hand as well. If you take that photo and then you take the one of me at a Thai strip club dressed in a chicken suit for Nando's,
Yes.
that would probably be the other one. What concerns me more is I haven't changed my life having seen those shots.
Alison's given us a call from Emu Plains. What was the turning point for you, Alison?
Morning, boys. Morning, Sarah.
Morning.
I was out with the girls. We were on a night out, having fun. And then I just looked at myself and thought, oh, you're disgusting. Like,
Oh,
you need to do
Alison.
something. You know what I mean? So then I thought, that's it. So I went, booked in, and got a gastric sleeve done. Lost 47 kilos, and now I'm a brand new lady.
Wow.
47 kilos.
Alison, I love that. I mean, it must have taken, it would have been building up and playing on your mind that you were unhappy inside, and then all of a sudden, you just thought, enough is enough.
Yep. I had kids, so, body was hammered, basically, from children, and
Yep.
just had frumped right out, and there was just, I thought, my husband can't love me, look at me, and then I thought, that's it.
You got to love yourself.
Yeah,
Says, have you had any moments like that?
The sleeve of gastric.
You know what? Nothing beats a cozy winter getaway.
Or escaping to a tropical paradise.
Whatif.com helps you make up for getaways that you've missed.
Plan and book everything travel, all in one place. Jump online or on the What If app. What If? It's Aussie for travel.
We like the Life Improver. How good's the Life Improver? Oh yeah, the Life Improver. Your life improver.
I mean, we were just getting these at the start of the year. They were a great motivator for 2022. Suppose I've got influenza A now as well. I need a bit of motivation in my life. Okay, here's one for you. BJ gave me this one. If we
Yeah.
can get it up on the screen as well, this one would be good.
What do you got?
You know, at the moment as well, the kids with footy training and stuff like that, those shoes are always wet, or the footy boots are always wet. So you put them in the washing machine, but how do you dry them? There's no way you can dry them.
the dryer.
You can't leave them outside. Now, you can put them in the dryer, but it's very loud when you put them into the dryer.
Yeah.
So this is what you have to do. You have to actually tie up the laces.
Okay, tie the laces
Right.
up.
So both the shoes, you tie the laces together so they're together, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you hang the laces up on the dryer door as you're putting it in. Close the door so the laces are hanging out. And then the shoes don't go
Tumble.
around. They don't tumble with the dryer. They just stay on the door.
That's a great idea.
And they just dry them.
That's clever. So they're in the little heated dryer there without the tumbling round.
And you know how loud it is when you got your shoes in the dryer.
So
Genius.
you can put shoes in a dryer.
Oh, yeah.
Well, this
I
is.
didn't know that.
Yeah, of course.
I think it can get hot with the glue, Sarah, and it
Yeah.
might. I've stuffed up a couple
Over
of pairs
time,
of Ultra
yeah.
Boost doing
Right.
that before.
Just be really careful depending on the shoe you've got, Says, would be my
Sure.
advice.
Okay.
Thanks
Tanya,
so much for dropping by.
Tanya in Georges Hill, what's your life hack, Tan?
Hi, if you soak your oven racks in 3 scoops of nappy sand overnight in hot water, they come clean. You don't have to scrub them.
And that they are the worst grills
So annoying.
to clean, aren't they?
So annoying.
They are.
So you reckon nappy sand does everything, Tanya?
It does the trick, and it actually works on your barbecue grills as well.
Here we go. You know what? You work so hard, even if you've got a tray in the oven and you've got something on the tray and you've got baking paper in there. You work so hard not to let anything come off that baking paper.
You know that
Even when
orange?
you're cutting through and you scratch a hole in it, you go,
Yeah.
You know that orange brand where everything smells like orange? You know that? And
think so.
the goo remover
Yeah.
stuff? That stuff, I mean,
Does it work?
I use it on everything. I
Goo
actually
remover?
use it. I use the orange goo remover on stains on my clothes, and it gets them off.
Kidding.
Yeah.
You know
works
when you
on
think,
anything.
I've got a stain or I've got something, I've got bubble gum stuck in a kid's hair or whatever it might be, and you think, it's impossible for there to be a product that's going to help me right now. And then you use it and it works. And you think,
It's the best.
mind blown.
And give us a call, mate, 13 24 10. Rhiannon in Gregory Hills, what's your life hack?
My life hack is if you wear the same colour as a zookeeper and you go to the zoo and you stand near the animal enclosure, the animals will familiarise the colour and stand closer to you.
That's awesome.
Oh, so have you tried it before, Rhiannon?
I have.
So, Rhiannon, you're talking about the car keys like an Irwin look, yeah?
Yeah. You just have to wear the colour, and because the animals are familiar with the colours, they'll tend to stand closer to you.
Because we know half the time they're sleeping, aren't they, Rhiannon? They might get up thinking that you're about to feed them.
Hello, here's a
That's
friendly
right.
face.
That's a really good life improver.
Dress as a zookeeper at the zoo. Rhiannon, well done.
Michelle in Oran Park, improve our lives.
Well, I was asleep one early morning and my 2-year-old woke up and somehow found black permanent texture drew all over my wooden furniture. So I woke up, freaked out. It was everywhere, just scribble. So I used mold remover and Windex mixed together, and it came straight off, even within the grain.
So mold remover and Windex.
Black texture.
Yeah.
Black texture off timber, yeah?
Yes, yeah, off timber. Yeah.
Okay, Michelle, that's a good
Thanks,
one. I've
Mish
written
Mish.
that one down. Nikki in Hornsby, what's your life hack?
Hey guys, so when you're making nachos, instead of getting a tray dirty or pouring the chips into a bowl, if you open up the packet, turn it on its side, open up the packet, you can put all the ingredients straight on top of the chips and pop it in the oven, and then you don't have to clean up all the mess.
So, so do you put the wrapping back over the top, Nikki?
No,
No.
leave it open.
But doesn't it shrink the bag? Like when we were kids, we used to put
No, that's
chip
in an oven,
packets in the
Sarah. This
oven.
is a microwave.
Ah.
Do you know-
Oh, no, wouldn't that spark the microwave?
Yes,
A bag?
only in the oven.
Only
Only
in the oven. That's
It's
what I'm
only
saying.
in the
So
oven.
wouldn't it shrink the chip bag?
Yeah, don't you?
Do you know what's interesting too, Nikki? I mean, on the topic of food and science, there was a release today, a edible sticky tape that you can tape your burrito with, so your burrito doesn't fall apart.
That's ridiculous.
Edible sticky tape.
That's
really
just
clever.
An added layer and an added ingredient that you do not need.
It's stuck your burrito together. You will not have a
Can't
mess
you
on your
just
hands.
Hold your burrito.
You might only have one hand, sir.
Oh my gosh!
Just go with it. Edible
Well,
tape.
if you've only got one hand, how are you taping up the?
It's already come. It comes taped.
Comes taped.
Yeah, it comes taped. The burrito's held together already when you buy it.
Millie in Blacktown, help us out. Life hack.
Life hack. Okay, so if you say you wanted to buy something from like Apple, like an iPhone or a watch or whatever, add it to your cart, and then you don't buy it straight away. So in like 7 to 10 days, they'll actually email you and give you a 15 to 20% discount on the product because you haven't yet
my
bought
one.
it.
Yeah.
That's the one I do. That's a beauty, isn't it, Millie?
That does not work. They
Oh,
don't,
yeah, it
they
does.
don't give discount, do
And do
they?
you know what annoys me, Millie? The last thing that I bought, and I was trying to do this. I needed I needed the turnaround quicker, and I couldn't just leave it in there. So I then went and bought it. But because I'd created it and had it in a different inbox, then I got the email saying, "Hey, we'll take 15% off if you're ready to order."
That's a good one, Millie. I didn't know about
Can
that.
I throw one more in there? I saw this one on TikTok the other day, but it was about a guy who flew to Europe for $300, and it's through Google Flights.
Yeah.
So I didn't even know that existed. But you go onto Google Flights, and then you type in where you are, and then you type in the continent, right? So you'd leave it as Europe.
Yep.
And then it'll bring up all the prices from every airline, and then you can click on the date, right?
Yeah.
And bring up your calendar, which has got the prices underneath. So if you've got the time and it doesn't need to be date specific, you can just find the cheapest flight. And there are flights on airlines for $380
To get over to Europe.
Sydney. One way.
That's cool.
That is unbelievable. But you just need to be prepared to fly at any time.
On any airline. Because that same flight might be then on another website, one of those travel websites, with a $500 excess on top of that.
Yeah.
Sarah, I got a bottle of Double Chin Gin here. We need a winner.
I don't know. I feel like the two best ones came from BJ and your random one.
What are we going to do here?
I don't know. Do you guys have a
I
feeling?
quite like Rhiannon going to the zoo dressed as a zoo.
Yeah,
that
I
was
like
cute.
Rhiannon.
Yeah.
Rhiannon, you got it.
Double Chin Gin. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Australian Distilling Co. And also Tanya, Michelle, Nikki, Millie, you going to the running for 50k a day, mate?
We like the Life Improver. How good's the Life Improver? Oh yeah, the Life Improver. Your Life Improver!
Do you take a friend with you on a date?
You can't really do that, can you?
Have them hiding in the background. Roxanne was the movie by Steve Martin. Remember he had the long nose?
Yep.
And he gave advice to that young guy, but he was in love with the girl himself. And remember, he started giving all this love advice to his mate, and it was doing really well. But really, Steve Martin with the big nose loved the girl himself and didn't know how to tell her how he felt.
So all his moves and all his advice, she thought was coming from the friend.
Well, 1 in 5, there's been a new survey that's come out. 1 in 5 singletons admit to secretly taking a friend on a date with them. Now, the other one as well, look, from the beginning of a date, and getting advice, 72% of people actually ring and canvass their opinions with their friends and family
That's a
before
good idea.
saying yes. And we all do that, don't we?
Hey, here's what I'm thinking. Is this a good idea? Because she wrote this back to me in a text message. That sounds good, doesn't it? Yeah. What should I write back? Let's craft something together.
Oh, yeah, that sounds like
That's
a
pretty
plan.
much how it works.
She put so much effort into
Oh my
the
God,
show.
that's a hot DM.
So there was 2,000 single adults. Over 51%, over half people have said that they've had a pal rock up to a secret location and just sit in the background and just give them advice.
I don't
Send
understand
them
how that works.
We'll send them text messages.
Oh, come on. You're not sitting there going, hang on, I've got Gary behind me.
When the date goes to the toilet, quickly run over. What else do I need to do? How am I looking? Any other power moves I could
hope
use?
someone's not that
You don't
unconfident.
need that,
like,
and that's the thing. I mean, you're sitting there, you've just finished your seafood linguine, right? And it's all going well, and you're laughing and talking. And then there's a guy sort of 3 tables back yelling out, move in for the kiss.
So, Tommy, can I ask you a serious question?
Yeah,
because you were friends with Inga for a very long time before you actually made a move. Now, Whipper and I had conflicting views on this. And as friends, Whipper was like, you're so weak, go in for the kill. Do it tonight. You got to do it tonight. Where I was saying, hold back, relax, wait for the right time, Tommy. Like, I don't know if she's at a hen's party at a strip night or something like that.
Don't do it at a strip club, Tom.
I said just wait for the right time. How did it all end up, Tommy, with that advice?
Well, I did. I took your advice, Fitzy, and I waited, which I think was right.
Gutless.
It's just that I did pick the wrong moment of when there were men dancing on and women, I think, dancing on the poles.
I think
when you tried to slip a 50 into her underpants.
No, I did not confuse her as the stripper. No, I thought,
and you'd had too much to drink, hadn't you?
Exactly right. And I was very.
So did you say I've got feelings for you, Inga?
Yeah, I said, isn't it amazing how much time we spend together?
Yeah, great. My advice, yep.
We're so close. We're closer than housemates, I think. And then sort of the penny sort of dropped that.
What was her response?
Oh, well, she was a bit unsure
because there was a guy dancing in front of her.
Because you dropped something in her drink and she was seeing it dissolve in front of her.
Never seen a frothier champagne.
Dude, how dare you?
But
she was confused. But over the course of a week of some heavy counselling, she then came
Some
around
dungeon work.
Oh, Sarah.
How do you feel today, Inga?
Do you want to be fed or not? Because Fitz,
I don't care if your wrists are hurting. That's what handcuffs do.
I used to say when Tom and Inga were sort of just friends, I used to talk like to Inga. I'd be saying, he's just the funniest guy in the world.
See, you know what?
He's
you're ruining
so good.
She knows that.
No, she didn't. Some people had
She's
to.
been mates kids with him for years.
And they were
Some
living
people
together. You
had
didn't
to point
enlighten
this
her.
out. I'd be coaching the entire time, working on Tom with advice.
Didn't work.
Talking, yes, it did. That's why they're together. I'd be coaching Tom in one corner, and I'd have Inga over here going, "Oh my God, you should see the stuff he does for charity."
Oh, my God.
I mean, he's the ultimate all-rounder. I'd have 3 kids with him, in fact, as it turns out.
Oh, do you have a date mate in your life? 13 24 10. Give us a call. Remember, anyone that gets on the show goes in the running for 10K a day in May. Laura in Parramatta. Who do you take with you on a date, Laura?
I actually took my best friend with me on my first date, and she sat at the table.
At the table.
So
Wow.
that's your wing woman. So did you obviously gave your date the heads up that you're going to have a friend there with you, Laura?
Look, I didn't, but it was just coffee. It wasn't like a formal dinner or anything.
Okay, so can I ask too, are you better looking than your friend?
Well, she's actually gay, so yes, in that sense I am. It
Okay.
wasn't like she was my competition.
So there's no threat there. You didn't bring a threat
No,
to the table.
No, she was just there to suss it out.
All right, that's good to know.
Did the date not say to you, why have you got a friend here?
Look, my date at the time, he didn't really care, but now he's been my boyfriend for 9 years and he thinks it's funny.
Oh,
So-
see, that's great.
You know, Laura, I think that's good. I remember organising a date one time when I was very nervous about it. I really liked this girl, and I organised a couple of friends that were already a couple to come along, so it was going to be like a double date. She didn't turn up.
That's because she was faced with 3 strangers.
No, they weren't strangers. The other friends were friends of hers. So I was trying to
Right.
ease the feelings, ease the tension that no doubt just existed on my side.
Public dumping.
Not public, didn't turn up at all, says. So nothing confronting except a good night, a table for 3. Yep, always fun.
Well, I
Have a
just think,
table for 3.
like I said, just to, at the end of the date, why can't you do the date, then you sit down, ring your friend straight away afterwards, and then you can canvass it then?
You know the awkward one too on a date when it's going really well and there's a kiss at the table, but you lean in for the
Oh,
kiss.
that's a tough kiss to do.
You're right,
'Cause what if
Fitz.
you're on the other side of the table?
You underestimate the length of the table and the distance between you. So the next thing you know, you're kind of forcing yourself, almost lying, you're planking onto the table for your lips to reach their lips. And it's this awkward moment of, shouldn't we have just stood up to get the table out of the way?
No one's doing a dinner table.
Do you know
Oh,
why
says
you love
that.
it as well?
I did a lot of
You
that.
know why you love it?
Why?
Because you can lean over, get a kiss, come back with a couple of bread rolls in your pocket. Obviously, a fair bit going on over in the Ukraine at the moment still. And look, there's a lot of people that are trying to get out of the country with Russia still invading it. This is a really interesting story, though, because a security guard, a female security guard, she initially signed up for the government's rehoming scheme last week. And she got out of there and she found a family over in the UK who decided to put their hand up. They had 2 kids, Tony and Lorna were their names, and they said, we will take someone in. Obviously, if they want to get out of the UK and what's happening here at the moment, we disagree with, and we want to help.
Yeah.
So they got Sophia Karkadim is her name, and she moved in with the family last week, which was great news. That's her there from Ukraine. She's a beautiful girl.
Very attractive.
She doesn't really have much family around her, and she's moved in with the family. She was in there for just over a week, and Lorna, the mother and partner of Tony, has come out and said it's only been a week, but she is fed up with the immediate close bond that Sophia has made with her husband, Tony.
Tony.
In the first week, they would go to the gym together. They would sit for hours talking in a car park. Eventually, she got so upset, Lorna, that she said, you're going to have to leave the house. I know we're doing this to help you, but you're going to have to leave the house. Lorna was stunned when Tony also got up with her and left
the
wife and the kids, and is now run off with the Ukrainian.
I mean, I take my hat
refugee
off to him because
you
his
do.
commitment to making sure that she's all right. So the chat was, we're going to look after this poor girl. We're going to give her some shelter. We're going to give her some food. We're going to get her back on her feet. Looks like he's taken her off her feet again, but I think that for him to then commit to making sure she's still okay, even outside of that shelter.
But in a week? Like, it's just only taken a week.
Love at first sight.
Tony's, I mean, this is very similar to the guy being involved with the nanny process or the babysitter process.
Yeah.
You know, I've always said just leave that to your wife. She can go out and pick someone because I don't want to be a part of that process. Tony obviously got involved, saw a photo
Well, you
of
can't
Sophia.
choose a refugee.
Well,
maybe you
Like,
can.
Pick him from a profile shot. That's not odd.
Doesn't seem
maybe
right.
did.
Is she a model? Like, she looks like
She's gorgeous, isn't she?
Yeah.
And it's only taken Tony a week. He's taken her straight to the gym. They talked out in the car park for hours and hours, and Lorna got fed up and said, "You're going to have to leave." And when Tony got up with her and said, "I'll go with her."
When you've got a situation so sensitive as war, and this poor girl has come in and he said, "Let's go to the gym for a bit." He's obviously helped her with a couple of squats and a few hamstring stretches, and then she's been able to share her experiences and obviously a cup of tears. She needed a shoulder to cry on, and Tony was there. Tony was there.
The funny thing is, he's left his whole family. He's left his whole family just to run off with a young Ukrainian refugee. You don't know how long that's going to last.
No.
What if Sophia wants to go home at some stage to see her family? What's Tony going to do? Tony's some,
Go
bloke
back to
with a crap
refugees.com.
job from,
Yeah.
from Yorkshire, and now he's just run off from the two kids and his wife because he wants a fling with a Ukrainian refugee.
Did the wife get to see the photo of this girl before she came into the house?
They would not have sent pics and said,
They have
pick your
to, Sarah.
refugee from this list.
No, but it needs to be that this person would fit in with the house, right, and their home.
Well, they probably said
So-
girl of this age. Do you, because if you're older, you're not going to say, you want a toddler.
And
Because you can't
Tony's
look
looked
after
at it and
them.
gone, okay, blonde, 23.
I don't think
I'm
it would have been
struggling
like
at
that.
home. Yeah.
Hashtag hot pants. I think I found one appropriate. Loves the gym. Will work out.
It's an absolute dog act, though, Tony, isn't it? I mean, he was doing the right thing by taking in a refugee. An
Please
amazing
stop
effort.
defending him.
Yeah, fair call. Fair call. It is crazy at the moment with the amount of viruses that I've never seen this ever in my life, and I've been living for a long time, guys, 45 years. Haven't seen it like this before. So I went and saw the doctor yesterday. How's this for a story? She goes, "Look, don't worry about it. There's nothing I can do." I said, "My voice is really struggling. I need something to take on air or whatever." And she said, "Look, you just got to get, when doctors look you in the eye and say, you've just got to get through this.
Yeah, got to rest.
Just drink plenty of water and make sure you eat."
Haven't got a magic needle at all?
It's really tough. And she said, "Look, okay, I'll give you an example. I shouldn't be telling you this, but I had a 6-year-old girl that came in yesterday who was doing it really tough. We were worried about her, so we went and got tests straight away, blood tests. Came back, she had 3 different viruses in her.
Oh, my God, like what?
So influenza A was one.
COVID.
But there's, at the moment as well, rhinovirus is back. Respiratory syncytial virus, RSV, is back. Influenza A is huge.
Monkeypox.
She said the other day as well, she said, just be careful with mozzies because Ross River's going around.
Yeah,
at
Ross
the
River's
moment.
hot.
I'm like, what? Salmonella's still pretty
Well,
big.
Ross River's massive because of the amount of mozzie breeding that's gone on because we have puddles and pools everywhere.
Well, salmonella's a big one as well because it's also moist. Everything's around here and there's mold.
Wasn't
and there's
salmonella
crap.
from your meat?
Yes. Well, it's in food, isn't
Yeah,
it?
in your ham. And I remember a kid in class, I'll never forget it, there was a salmonella outbreak when I was at school. It would have been in year 12. It was like 97, and there was a kid at school, his name was Wei-Shin Mak. And the mother ran into the classroom finding out about the salmonella outbreak and said, "Wei-Shin, don't eat that roll. Don't eat that roll." No one could work out what was going on.
You remember that?
Oh, clearly, because he was known as "Don't Eat That Roll" after that, because the mother had stormed into class yelling because she'd put ham with a possible outbreak in Wei-Shin Mak's roll.
Did it upset your sashimi that you were having for lunch that day?
No, I
at
got through.
school?
I said to the waiter, "Go and get me something without ham in it. Clearly, maybe some smoked salmon or some caviar." And we got through that day, but it was tough for not only the class but also Wei-Shin Mak.
Did you think for a minute about eating his ham roll?
Yeah, I ate his ham rolls.
there we
Yes, of
go.
course,
When
I
he
didn't care
couldn't-
about that.
And your body would have got through salmonella for sure.
What was the one that I got not long ago where they gave me?
Scurvy?
No, I haven't had scurvy. Lack of vitamin C there. No scurvy, no herpes.
Gout?
No, not gout, thanks. Although I did see a guy at the bar, this older guy who would have been 65, big British accent.
Yeah.
He's talking to these 2 young women at the bar. And he goes, "I've got the gentleman's disease. I've got the gentleman's condition."
Is that the clap?
No, gout.
Oh, yes.
Is that where your toes fall off?
Is gout is related to people who like to drink a lot of alcohol,
Yeah,
isn't it?
consumption. Is that right, Tommy?
Well, it can be, yeah. But you can get it in your foot. But you can also get it in your thumbs.
And your
Is it
elbows.
inflammation, Tommy, or is it in your nerves?
No, it's inflammation. It's a build-up of uric acid in the body.
Oh,
yuck.
Yeah, it's nasty.
Well,
But my
there's-
dad doesn't drink, and he gets gout.
Does
So
he?
that's disappointing.
You should
for him.
see him around a
Yeah.
cheese platter, though.
Yeah, well.
See, but
Brian.
also as well, there's a couple of guys that I grew up with that are a bit older now as well, Tommy, and they get the red skin because they drink every day.
rosacea.
I've got one guy whose nose is blown up and it's all red.
The big swollen
He's
bulb.
known as Rudolph around the local area.
Is he an alcoholic?
Yeah, he likes to drink.
Right, every day.
Every
That'll
day.
happen.
Yes.
What was the one I got? You get it when you go to Fiji or Thailand or something, Tommy.
Diabetes?
No, it's like a
Herpes.
bug. No, it's like an intestinal
Crabs.
bug or
Snorkeling?
No, not snorkeling.
Worms.
No, you get it. It's a
Catamaran.
starts with a P.
Parasite.
Parasite says I got a parasite, and I was driving.
Not cool, Lee said that.
No, I was driving home one day. I started crying listening to a song that came on the radio, and I went, "What the hell is wrong with me?" And I went to the doctor, and I had some rotavirus and a parasite, and they said it makes you extremely emotional. And I said, I don't want to be. Don't play Whitney Houston anymore, for God's sake.
It's not a motor if it's not a rotor.
You know what I mean? Turn Smooth FM off. I was gone, mate.
Hey,
Absolutely gone.
You know the other one as well you have to keep an eye on? There's been a spike in the number of people being poisoned by eating wild mushrooms.
Yes, mate, that's huge.
56 calls have been made with 37 cases relating to foraging for mushrooms and people getting really crook.
Once
Don't
again,
pick up a mushroom.
it's because we haven't had the mushrooms growing because of the amount of water that we've had.
That part does not eliminate the ability for
No,
you to have
Says, I
common
know.
sense. Do not pick up a mushroom off the
A
ground.
lot of people don't know the difference between a mushroom and a toadstool. So they go, oh, who would have thought? My backyard's doing mushies. Well, I'll do a steak sauce with that.
Don't do that.
Next thing you know.
You're having a good time. Hey, Lulu in Manly, how many viruses did your friend have?
I have a girlfriend who obviously coronavirus has shut down the whole world, but she had an attempt to go on a honeymoon on 3 different times, and she actually got to one of them without coronavirus, but then she got coronavirus there. So she had coronavirus 3 different times on 3 different attempts.
See,
But she's had the Rona 3 times.
some people are.
Yeah.
Isn't it astounding? Like, because I've been copped now with the COVID and influenza A, and I'm thinking, I'm a pretty fit guy, but there's other guys out there that I know that are not fit at all.
No.
I mean, Blackers is one as well. I mean, Blackers, he has not copped COVID at all, or doesn't get sick. That guy doesn't get sick.
Well, that was me until influenza A arrived.
It's amazing. Emily and Ryde, how many viruses have you had?
Well, I actually caught it. I was quite sick, and then my manager got sick as well, and we would take off the days and then come back, and we would just keep getting sick and get each other sick. And turns out we were catching each other's virus, and it was, it was
So
terrible.
how many times do you reckon you got sick in the 1 year, Emily?
Oh, we got sick in a month. Pretty much we were sick for a month.
Every week. First things first, stop making out with your manager, Em, would be my number one
well,
tip.
No. No, it's not like that at all.
That's how it can
Nikki in
spread.
Springwood, we're looking for the viral victor here, Nikki. How many viruses?
I've had COVID twice, influenza A, and then I just had gastro on one day.
Oh,
Wow.
You're just getting smashed, Nick. Do you know where it's coming from? Any idea?
Well, I do have an autoimmune, so my immune system's super low.
Right.
I'm just hoping I don't get anything else. I fly to the UK on Wednesday, so I just can't catch anything else.
You've just got to stay at home until Wednesday, Nick.
I know, it's true. My husband's just gone down with influenza A. My daughter had it.
my
And I
gosh.
just fingers crossed my son doesn't get
Well,
it.
Nick, like the doctor said when I went the other day, they said it's arrived a lot earlier and it's hit a lot harder than we thought. So that's the scary part about the old influenza A. I think, Tommy, have you still got COVID now? Because you can lose your dress sense, your sense of
Oh, whoa.
your sense of smell and your sense of taste. So I
not a
assume
symptom.
looking at your fashion today, you've obviously been hit pretty
It's a
hard.
beautiful grey jumper, but maybe I've got a parasite because that's probably symptom.
You're going to cry, are you?
I cried in the toilets here at work most
Well,
of
he
the
will.
morning.
How can you-
I was crying.
How
Whitney
can you
Houston
get a
was on.
parasite, right?
Hadn't been away either.
And one of the symptoms is you start crying to a Whitney Houston
Well,
song.
that's not one of the symptoms. I mean, I think they describe it as extreme emotion.
think
Turn it off, mate. I'm still recovering.
Everyone that was on that trip with you had symptoms as well. They were crying their eyes out.
Couldn't work it out. Not too loud, Leno. I'm not good, mate. Fire off a bit of music, Leno, and get me my trusty steed. Put the saddle on it. Tell Rip and the boys I'm ready. Tell John Dutton I'll meet him down at the ranch.
Is that Peter's Brunton?
No, not Peter Dutton. John Dutton. He's the dad. He's the main man, the property owner.
Oh, is this Yellowstone?
On the ranch, Yellowstone.
Got ya.
On Stan. Massive announcement, guys, for Yellowstone fans. It's just getting better and better. And you know what? Over Easter when I went away and I was lucky enough to share some time with Tom and his wife Inga and little Louie and Inga. And also Higo.
You've already said that way.
Yeah,
You said
and it's
that. Done
Hugo.
that joke the first time.
Higo.
You
Is it?
doubled it up.
It's
Is
not
it Higo?
Hugo, it's Hugo.
Anyway, I said to Inga, because she's a huge Yellowstone fan, I said, why don't we watch the first 20 minutes of episode 1, season 4? Probably the best TV I've ever seen.
Great.
Extraordinary.
So now we're up to season 5.
Season 5. That's pretty full on. That sounds like old Western stuff. I mean, there's a bit of that, but I don't think they use the Winchester anymore. Thanks, Leno.
Is it like Blazing Saddles?
No.
No.
Very different.
Okay.
They do things the old school way.
I see Kevin Costner started up a Twitter account to announce this.
Yes, he has. And
Which
he said...
it's taken him a while. His wife said if you build it...
they will come. He said, hope you're ready for another wild ride. Leno, drum roll, please.
What, on the horse? Or
No, well, wild ride. November 14, only on Stan. Yellowstone returns.
That will be big.
Oh, my God. It's perfect. It is just perfect.
Why don't you get
Because
a...
You're about to go on holidays as well, so you can pick your time of when you're going to sit down and watch it night after night so you can really immerse yourself.
Why don't we get Fooey from Stan, Tommy?
Yeah,
Adrian.
love
Why don't we get a cinema? Whip can sit down with a few listeners and go through and watch
Yes,
the whole
that.
Whole series?
Yeah.
That's a long
Big-
sit.
That's a big commitment.
with the listeners. Why don't you do that?
Tough one is my wife and I watch it together. She'd have to come along. I'm sure she's open to it, though. Ep 1, Tommy, book out a cinema.
Yeah, I've
Yellowstone fans.
been going to bed each night because we have a TV in our bedroom, and
Kinky.
and Inga's watching the end of season 4, and so I've just got Kevin Costner in my head every night. I fall
Yeah.
asleep listening to him, and she can't sleep.
Because of Kevin, because
Yeah.
he's so hot.
She goes to bed all fired up at midnight.
He is hot.
Yeah, well.
Do Kevin Costner's big line that he says in the show.
If we can stop the buffalo, we can stop anything around here.
That's not
No,
how he
that's
sounds.
not it.
Oh,
No,
yeah,
it's the
that's
other one.
season 3, episode 2.
What's the other one that he does that you always say?
Oh, yeah. If there's a man who ain't brave enough to get on the back of a Brumby,
What?
he shouldn't be at this ranch anymore.
It's Marlon Brando in The Godfather, isn't it?
It's a little bit Kevin Costner on his deathbed,
Has he
isn't
got a
it?
couple of marbles in your mouth?
I want you to go into town.
Stop.
Bring me back some soothers.
Reverse up.
All right, I don't do a great Kevin Costner. All right, I mean, I do anybody else, but not Kevin Costner.
The Fitzy and Whipper Show is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.